It's a long way to Veliky Ustyug, where Grandfather Frost is holding court. The children are putting a lot of effort into singing. They're hoping for a rich haul of presents at New Year's. It occurs to me that Grandfather Frost must hear a lot of this song. But it never gets boring, he says, because the visitors are so different. As New Year's approaches, he gets as many as 4,000 visitors a day, so he can't chat with all of them. But if it does get quiet, he goes for a walk in the woods, he says, or deals with his correspondence. Over the past few years, he's received 1.7 million letters. Grandfather Frost receives his visitors under the New Year's tree. And not only in the winter. Year for year, more and more Russians are coming to visit their Grandfather Frost and get a box of gingerbread from him. Even though getting to this remote town in northern Russia is not that easy. It took me almost 20 hours to cover the 1,000 kilometers by train from Moscow, just like these school children. This girl says she's never seen him before and finds him eerie. But this boy says he does some good magic. And this girl says it's just a man dressed up. But she used to believe in him, says a friend. She says they all believed in him once and put out a wish list next to the window. I'm surprised how many teenagers come to see Grandfather Frost. Aren't they too old for fairy tales? It seems not, as they're led patiently through countless rooms. In the changing rooms, they can wonder at the magnificent robes. One for every occasion, explains a helper. This reminds me of the regalia of a Roman Catholic bishop, but this has nothing to do with the church. Even if the helper doesn't mention it, Grandfather Frost was a communist invention during Soviet times. A worldly counterweight to the Orthodox Christmas. But that's not how Grandfather Frost sees it. He tells me he's always been here. Then he shows me his favorite item, the Book of Good Deeds. I ask if mine have been recorded there. This book is only for children, he tells me. My deeds are written in a book for the press. And then he shows me drawings and other small items children have sent to him. But I'm not ready to relent yet, and ask him if he doesn't find it all a bit tiresome. Absolutely not, he says. The kids talk to him about their families, their worries, how they feel and what they're up to. He says it's great that he gets all these letters from children in distant cities and countries. It's the greatest joy there is. The story goes that the local mayor was responsible for Grandfather Frost setting up base here in Veliky Ustyug. That fact was established by simple decree only 10 years ago. Since then, this small and sleepy town has become a real tourist magnet. Unfortunately, the mayor was too busy to talk to me, so the origins will have to stay a mystery. Instead of that, I'm permitted to join a school class on a tour of the workshops, where assistants are busy manufacturing all these gems of Russian folk art. Lyudmila Karapina tells the children how she used to earn money carving wooden figures. Now she's working for Grandfather Frost to top up her pension. But she tells me what the kids are seeing is not a true reflection of reality. Lyudmila explains how this craft tradition dates back 200 years, but that it's disappearing slowly. She says all these items are factory-made, but that she shows the children how to carve with a knife. It's a lot more real, she says, and encourages the fantasy of the children. And the town has a post office to deal with all the letters for Grandfather Frost. 200,000 letters arrive here every year. Children and adults write about their worries. Father Frost's industrious workers reply within 6 months. So, what exactly are in the letters? Vika reads a letter from the 11-year-old Katya from St. Petersburg. It starts, "Dear Grandfather Frost." Katya writes that she believes firmly in Grandfather Frost and that she'd like a microscope, please. The workers have quite a demanding job. So, what's the pay like? Vika says she's just happy she can work for Grandfather Frost. If people believe in fairy tales, she says, then they'll come true. Vika hopes everyone can believe in this fantasy so they don't worry too much about money. People should just do good deeds and believe in the fairy tale. But keeping the belief going costs money, and I wonder where they get it. One answer is in the post office shop, which sells a wide range of souvenirs. And postmistress Lyudmila Suranova tells me that she and her colleagues offer guided tours and trips into the surrounding countryside. It's the only way they can pay for the letters, she says. She does hope, however, that Moscow will help with the growing correspondence in the future. The local government gives some money towards the project, she says, but the post office only earns money through souvenir sales or when parents pay money for Grandfather Frost to write to their children. So, charges for letters, souvenirs, and mail-order presents. Is this just a business venture? Grandfather Frost insists it isn't and takes me into his enchanted forest. This is where he recharges his magical powers. We soon come across an amateur theater group which stages well-known Russian fairy tales, and this make-believe is slowly becoming tiresome. I want to talk like a normal person for a change. Someone in town told me that Grandfather Frost is in his mid-30s and is called Andre. There are so many tales about me, says Grandfather Frost. In one of them, I'm called Andre. The stories people tell are amazing. This man is fazed by nothing. And why not? Most people here want to be enchanted anyway. And a trip to see Grandfather Frost is a perfect chance to forget their worries, for a while at least.